Yo, what is up, guys? This is Andy Lee from Martial Club. I'm a martial artist, a modern day warrior, and an artist of life. I've done many things with martial arts. I've competed, I've traveled the world and trained in martial arts. I've worked in movies, I've done YouTube for many years, I'm an independent filmmaker, director, writer, actor, action choreographer, you name it. Just an overall artist of life, and I want to share my story. I'll always remember one of the first major martial arts competition I participated in was Red Bull Kick It in Korea. I'm the first Red Bull Kick It champion, and here's my story.
To me.
My name is Andy Lee. I'm from Westminster, California, USA, representing Team Martial Club. It's amazing because honestly, I came into this tournament expecting to win maybe only 1 or 2 rounds. After I got past that, like the fire just got bigger, and I just went harder and I started whipping stuff out of my arsenal, just pushing through it. And luckily enough, I made it all the way to the end. It's amazing.
I would say my first foundational martial arts styles is martial arts tricking. And for those of you who don't know what it is, martial arts tricking is an aesthetic blend of kicking, flipping, and twisting. It stemmed from martial arts, but it kind of fused movements from capoeira, breaking, and acrobatics to form a very expressive and artistic blend. How we competed is if we would battle. It had many different categories. The foundation would be kicking, the rest would be flipping and twisting. Around this time, martial arts tricking was starting to blow up on the internet. You were getting a lot of backyard trickers without martial arts experience. And slowly, the martial arts aspect was being lost. And what Red Bull wanted to do was create a competition that emphasized more on the martial arts aspect, which was the kicking aspect. South Korea, being the motherland of Taekwondo, which heavily emphasized on kicking, created this format where you brought in your tricking ability, but you were also judged in your kicking ability. So there was 2 different categories. There was tricking, and then there was kicking. And the way they judged this was with board breaks and target kicking. They held qualifiers and preliminaries for a lot of Taekwondo practitioners, and they scoured the world to find trickers who were still emphasizing the kicking aspect. This was the first time this format was ever being done. You're taking straight Taekwondo practitioners from Korea, and then you're taking trickers from Korea and international trickers from all over the world, and you're putting them together in a martial arts kicking, tricking tournament. It's the first time that it was ever going to be done, and it was very interesting to see how it would turn out. My tricking style at the time was very martial arts based, because even though the high difficulty level and the twisting and the acrobatics was getting really crazy in tricking, I fell in love with tricking because of the martial arts aspect. So I always maintained the martial arts aspect. My foundation at the time was a lot more in wushu, kung fu, but it didn't translate over to tricking that well. I would study on the internet the Korean Taekwondo practitioners and just watch movies and try to emulate my kicking style to the best of my ability for the perfect technique, but I never really had a teacher. I would just rip the biggest kick without any technique, but I guess I faked it well enough. Like, I mimicked it enough for Red Bull to watch my videos and be like, oh man, this guy can kick. Let's bring him into the tournament. I just happened to be in the ether at the time on the internet for tricking, and so when they reached out to me, I was like, and they wanted me to join the competition, I was like, wait, me? Really? And I had a really white belt mentality, and so I was like, I'm not worthy to like enter the tournament, but they really insisted, and for me it was a once-in-a-lifetime chance as a martial artist to test myself on a big stage like a competition. And this was one of the first major ones, so I couldn't pass up the experience. I didn't expect to win. I went over there with 0 expectations. All I wanted to do was maybe survive the first round so I don't look like an idiot. They'd fly me all the way over there and I'd lose right away. It would have been embarrassing. So you see it a lot more on the internet nowadays, that people flipping and kicking and twisting and kicking targets like all the way up in the air. At the time, I felt like South Korea and their taekwondo was like kind of still in their own world. You rarely ever saw these high flying board breaks on the internet. So I didn't really have a reference on how to properly kick a board or kick a paddle. The tricking aspect I wasn't worried about. The kicking aspect was where I was worried about because I never truly trained how to properly kick a target or a paddle. So the way I trained was I just had my brother, Brian. He just stood there and then I just did the trick. We would just measure the steps, how far it took for me and how high I was. And when we would practice, I would just practice it blind. If I'm lucky, I'll graze the paddle. If I'm really lucky, I'll hit the paddle. And so that's how I trained for it. It was just like throw the trick blind and by luck, you'll hit it. As it was getting closer to the competition, I was slowly starting to get more and more accurate. That's when I noticed a difference in my kicking technique slowly changing. As far as the tricking portion, I've done enough tricking battles. I would create a very, very composed martial arts sets, which I had, and I wrote it in my hand like this. And then I had a response for everything they threw. So let's say, example, if they were to throw a move like a jackknife, I would have, I'll do a cork knife, which is like a bigger jackknife and with an extra twist. I would do practice rounds with myself. So I would like put a timer on for 1 minute. I'll throw a pass, take 5 to 10 second breather, throw another pass, take a 5 to 10 second breather. I know a minute doesn't sound like a lot, but like if you actually throw tricks for a minute straight, like just try it. You run your gas tank quick. So that's how I trained for it. And then the board breaking, I kind of did just blind and it was all up to the universe to decide whether I landed the kick or not. How the Red Bull Kick It format worked. It's top 16, right? And then it was a 1v1. And that 1v1 would be 2 rounds. The first would be a 1 minute tricking battle, which I kind of had more experience with. You throw a pass, I throw a better pass, back and forth. And then the second round would be to really test your kicking ability. And this was the board break pass. So you can have your own board holders come out, people you train with, and then you can do a pass. You can either do like a combo or you can do a big board break. So you had these 2 rounds, but let's say if I won the tricking pass and my opponent wins the kicking pass, there's a tiebreaker. And the tiebreaker is you either pick one final tricking pass or one board breaking pass. There were 5 judges. I don't quite remember what the categories were, but each judge had a different category to look at. By that final pass, it was up to them to decide who won that round. And once you won the round, you would progress up to the next bracket. So when Red Bull flew me out, we came out a few days early. And the reason why was they wanted to take the athletes on a tour. So the international competitors was me, Donovan Sheehan, someone else. And then they brought the judges, international judges too. So there was Steve Terada, Quest Crew, OG martial arts tricker, Rudy Raynon, another veteran, Kyle McLean was there. And these were all like the heroes I looked up to. And so for me to like fly over with them was pretty crazy. And when we got there, Red Bull kind of took us, like all the athletes and then the international judges, on a tour. And we toured all like the big major like taekwondo like hubs, right? Their headquarters, you'd say. So we went to like World Taekwondo Federation. We visited their dojang, Kukiwon, Mirame too, K Tigers, all like the major like tricking schools in South Korea at the time. Every time we made a stop, we kind of put on a show, like an exhibition battle or whatever. Because this was a new competition, Red Bull wanted to spread the word to different taekwondo sects out there to sign up and do a preliminary. It was pretty crazy because as a martial artist, like, and a fan of martial artists and a high respect admirer for kicking, for me to turn every corner and to see taekwondo everywhere and like everyone was good, my inner child was like, dude, this is crazy. But at the same time, I was also scared because I might have to battle these people. And then they did a preliminary, got some last minute competitors in from the taekwondo side and some trickers too. Yeah, that was our first few days in Korea. At the time, I was so zoned in. Like, even though I didn't expect to win, I trained pretty properly. I prepped all my sets and I prepped all my board breaks. I was in this very like warrior-like Zen mode. So I roomed with Rudy Raynon, one of the judges. And I just remember one night I was sleeping. I think they went out to party at like the Itaewon, like the party area. And then they came back to the hotel at like 3 a.m. Rudy and Kyle McLean, they like wake me up. They're like, Andy, get up, get up. And I was like, ugh. And then they're like, give me 100 burpees right now. And I was like, yes, sir. And I just, without thinking, That's how sharp I was in my training at the time. I would wake up and be ready to die in battle. So when they woke me up and they were like, give me 100 burpees right now, without hesitation, I got up, I did 100 burpees. It's moments like that that really kind of embody the story of the martial arts warrior going into battle. And I remember afterwards, when I was done, Rudy, he was still a little drunk at the time. He's like, Andy, you know what this tells me? You really want this. Like, you're a martial artist, bro. And then I was like, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Oh my God. Oh shit. When I did the vanish B-twist fall into the Chen-jun stance, that was a pretty good response. Aerial, wrap, hyper hook. Damn, bro! I really loved hyper hooks. Yeah, there was no way I lost that trick battle. Like, no way. Right now. Woo! Okay. I remember this is one of the most embarrassing moments of my life, dude. I should have just called it quits after the first. Cause this just me. Oh, Ong Bak, bro! Imagine that if I did that in like an Ong Bak film, full double leg, dong, real hit. Poor guy. I hope his head was okay. Oh, did he land it? He did land the snappy swipe. That's, yeah, okay. Cause he landed that snappy swipe, I was like, there's no way. Oh, they slow-moed it? Whoa! Whoa, dude, clean! Dude, I didn't miss, bro. I did not miss that double leg. I was too trained, dude. I was way too accurate. I think that was more right way than wrong, but you know, freaking. All right, here's the final pass. Tiebreaker. Wow, I loved vanishes at the time. Whoa! All right. Shuriken twist, vanish raise, vanish cheat 9, vanish aerial switch, miss leg B twist, all these weird transitions. Reversal aerial, cart, wheel, double full. Woo! Jeez. Okay. Unanimous decision. Okay, so remember I said I would go there. I didn't expect to win anything, and I think that's what helped me get past these rounds, because I trained hard, but I also let go of the expectation of winning. And I think that letting go like balanced me out enough to where I was sharp because I trained, but I was also loose enough to be able to flow through the tournament. And this first round, I remember I was so nervous. This was one of the first rounds in the tournament. I was so scared, right? But when they called out my name, I was like, I'm already dead. I don't need to win. Like, none of this matters. And I just remembered at the time, like, something else took over. And then I walked out like this, and like, I was no longer myself. And then when I battled, it wasn't me. Like, it was something else, dude, because I knew fighting spirit, but when the moment counted, I battled like a different person. Watching this makes me really miss battling. And I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I really saw what influenced my style, because a lot of triggers at the time were doing a very standard combo. I was doing transitions, like weird transitions, like shuriken twist straight into raise, straight into cheat 9, no fillers in between because no one else was doing it. I definitely took influence from Taekwondo and definitely put my Kung Fu Wushu experience in there to fill in the gaps and for the showmanship. So that was my first round. I'm grateful to have passed it. After I passed it, I was like, I'm done. Like, I won one round, like, that's all I needed. Whoa. He did like an illusion twist gyro. Damn, dude. This is back before my hips were broken. I could jackknife on a whim. Oh, okay. Okay, this guy had some style. I had a wrap 4, vanish 9. Okay. Whoa. Dude, I remember that double full. I almost put my hand down, and then I was like, how did I land it? How did I land it? I used to be able to snapu swipe. Oh, it was like one of the worst snapu swipes. I think after I saw this snapu swipe in slow-mo, I saw how ugly it looked. I was like, I'm never doing snapu swipes ever again. See, unanimous decision. Whoa, Webster break, nice. Ooh. Oh, what was I doing? Box cutter? Box cutter. Ooh! Ah, dang. Okay. I had it, then I crashed. This is one of my favorite tricks to hit on a target. It's box cutter. Ooh! Yes! Dude, that was clean, bro. See, it was one of those pure luck moments. Unanimous decision. I won the board break too. Wow. I don't remember ever winning a board break round. So after I did the first box cutter, I hit it and then like I stumbled a bit and then I was like, should I just do it again? Because they count your second one. So let's say if I crash the second one even harder, then they count that one. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna do it. You know, life or death. There's nothing to lose here. That second box cutter that I hit was one of those, I did kind of blind. I was like, I'll just close my eyes and trust all the training I put in would show itself. And so I did. And then like I said, the way I trained was, it was just by luck, right? Closed my eyes, I did it, didn't think much of it. And then I felt the board break under the bottom of my foot. I was like, yes, yes. So proud, pretty proud, grateful. Round 2, done. So before we watch round 3, I got a little backstory to tell you guys. It's very important, so listen up. So round 3 was against this guy. This guy was practically my rival. His name was Beijing Ho. During the tour, this guy was a part of a team called Lexma, Leaders of Extreme Martial Arts. He wasn't so good at the board breaks or the kicking, but he was really crazy with the tricks. So when it came to the tricking sessions, this guy was like, just like double cork, double cork, double cork. He was tearing the floor apart and he was like always eyeball me and like he was always dogging me like, I'm gonna smoke you, I'm gonna smoke you. And so after every pass, he would just death glare me. So then it was just like, I guess it was just fate at that point that I had to battle him in this third round. And I remember how scared I was because I remember this guy was out for blood. Let me rewatch and see how it went down. Okay. Ooh. Oh, he crashed his first round. I was like, thank God he crashed. I might have a chance. Whoa. Damn, so much style, bro. Oh shoot. Okay, when he did that 10 and looked at me, I was scared. Oh, nice. Full jackknife. I think I was starting to run out of moves at this point. So it was a good thing that he crashed. And then it was a good thing he followed up with that box cutter. So the last pass I did a box cutter and he did another box cutter, but he didn't do it as good as me. I think that helped me win that tricking round. 1, 2, 3, cheat 7. Oh, no. Oh, he did it. Nice. Oh no, he messed up. Bam, bam, bam. Wrap, hyper hook. Ooh, close. I got this. So, nice. The landing was iffy, but I still landed it. Okay. Oh, tiebreaker. Okay, so he won the board break. Oh, so this is an interesting one because both our tiebreakers were trick passes, and he was really good at tricking. Dude, I was like, there's no way I can beat that. He finished with a cork snafu. Yeah, I was running out of moves. Oh, I recovered with Kung Fu, dude. Yeah! Woo! Crowd awakener. 3-point stance. Style. I'm so grateful for Kung Fu, bro.
Is it kind of cool, interesting to see all of you back again?
Dude, yeah, so crazy to look back at. Wow. I just remembered, like, yeah, this guy was out for blood in the sessions leading up to the tournament. I remember after one pass, I'll always remember he'll do this. He did like a punch backside 10, and then he gave me this death glare. as he was walking off. I will always remember that look. When it came to the tiebreaker, this guy's like, I'm gonna trick. And this guy was crazy. I was pretty sure I was gonna lose, but then my sets were starting to get repetitive, right? And so I remember at one point, I'm like, in the middle of the combo, I was like, I'm not gonna win with this. I'm just gonna switch it up. And I just went back to my roots. I did Kung Fu, front kick, sitting, sleeping Lohan. And then I just finished with the crowd awakener, 3-point stance. And then I just brought out the wushu showmanship. Thank God for my roots. If I didn't have my foundation or my Kung Fu roots to fall back on, I think I might have lost. So thank God for that, and I'm grateful. Grateful that he crashed too, or else I would have lost that trick pass. So on to the finals. I didn't even think I'd make it this far. I kept that white belt mentality of like, I didn't come here to win. I just came to represent, and I just came to test myself as a martial artist, knowing that I trained hard, but letting go of the expectations. And the finals was against one of the other internationals. His name was Donovan Sheehan. At the time, this guy was like the it guy. He was like the it tricker. He was doing like 1260s, like tricks that were just like the barriers were just being broken at the time. So me going up against him was quite scary. And mind you, all these people I'm battling, like everyone in the lineup, I had much respect for. But when it came time for war, it's time for war. And so this is my battle with Donovan Sheehan. Dude, it's so scary battling Donovan Sheehan. Whoa! Damn, see, look at all those transitions. I crashed. Whoa! I crashed and I still made it work, bro. Okay. Dude, okay, yeah, at this point, I remember our gas tanks were like running low. Jeez. Oh, he responded. Oh, here it is. Kung Fu style, bro. Oh, 540 cork fall. Full jackknife. Dude. Oh! Cart shuriken cutter to twist. Woo! Dude, that's a heated battle, bro. Like, I feel bad for the judges that they have to judge that, because that was quite hard. Because Donovan had the big tricks, and I was running out of moves, but I had a lot of like Kung Fu and a lot of style to like fill in the gaps. And it's like, I can see for the judges who've never seen that before, their reactions are probably like, whoa. Whoa, Donovan crashed. Oh, he was gonna double full round? That's crazy. Oh, what the heck am I doing? Oh, I'm doing a full pass. Oh, damn, I crashed everything. Dude, that was like so ambitious, bro. So bad. I like crashed everything. Wow. Come on, Andy. Oh! Yeah, I crashed everything. Damn, that was quite rough. Tiebreaker. So pretty much we were both so bad at the board breaks that like it really just came down to tricking. Oh, dude. I remember this. He's a throw cheat 12, I think. Yeah, I knew it. Oh, full snap move. Okay, this was like one of the first times I landed this trick. I think it was the first time I landed this trick. Also, this floor was not like the spring floor that trickers usually practice in. So then this floor was straight like Taekwondo tatami mats, and they just threw like some sort of linoleum over it. So the floor was quite hard. Oh my God. Dude, the tension I'm feeling. Yeah, dude. Wow, they gave us these scrolls. Wow, this is crazy. Oh, shoot! Wow, okay. So where do I start? Where do I start? It's pretty crazy, right? Okay, so battling Donovan. Yeah, we were both really bad at the board breaking rounds. It really just came down to who's better at tricking, or I guess not better, but like who won the trick battles. So the thing with these battles is it doesn't matter who's better and who's not. It really just comes down to on the day, like whether it was your day or not. And I didn't expect to win, dude. Like I came to get autographs from Donovan, you know? And mind you, this was like the finals, right? So usually the best battles aren't in the finals. The best battles are actually the first rounds. I learned this through experience that when you battle, you just throw your best and authentic, the most authentic passes your first round, and make sure you pass it, because if you save all your stuff, you might not even make it to the end. The finals is usually when, well, for me, I started running out of moves. But then again, like, yeah, I just went back to my kung fu, bro. Like, I went to the 540, cork fall, boom. The tiebreaker, because Donovan had just landed cheat 1260. He was like one of the first people to do it at the time. I was like, he's gonna try to 12. When I saw him like setting up, and then I'm like, but he's too tired. I don't think he's gonna make it. And then he crashed. But then for me, I could have just done something safer, but then I was like, nah, if he's gonna do a first, like I'm gonna do a first. Like my first full snap wheel, I'm gonna freaking just send it right now. And on that hard ass floor, I just sent it. I remember very vividly, like just sending the full swipe and then just twisting. Blind, it was either one or two things. One, I land on my side, thong, and I crash, or two, I land on my feet. And before I knew it, like my foot, like touched the floor first. Yo, I landed it. So you see at the end, I run to all the triggers, like all the triggers in the back, and I was like, did I land it? Was that a full step? I wasn't really nailing it like that. So bless the universe, cause what a crazy experience. Even standing there waiting for the judge to be like, who won, who didn't. I remember just thinking like, I'm a warrior. I fought my very best, and I put it out on the floor, and it's like up to God at this point. Like it's up to the universe to decide. And then when my hand went up, I was, what do you call this? Speechless? I was like, and rewatching it, I had the same reactions. It's crazy to look back at this chapter in my journey. And it's a nice reminder to like stay humble, you know? I was fairly new to, you know, this world of battling, and I came in with a very white belt mentality. Because that white belt mentality kept me humble, but it also like kept me sharp in the sense of like, because I'm a white belt at this, I need to train. I need to sharpen my skills. I was such a fan of martial arts and expression and art and movement. I really embraced like the martial arts aspect of this craft. And for me to go to Korea for the first time, in every corner I turned, high flying kicks, and and like everyone on the judging panel was people I looked up to, and all of the people I was battling was, you know, people that I would watch on YouTube. Imagine what that child in me was so inspired by. And even though I won, I knew there was still a lot for me to learn. The next year, I ventured back to South Korea, and then I did a whole pilgrimage where I went to I pretty much just gym hopped all the Taekwondo schools, all the sects, and learned their deadly kicking Taekwondo style, because that's how inspired I was. And that's a video we can save for another time. If you guys want to hear more about it, let us know in the comments below. And yeah, so I just wanted to, you know, there's been a lot of these points in my life and experiences that I'm just so blessed to experience. I feel like there's a lot to learn, and I want to share the martial arts spirit with the world and to share it with you guys. So if you guys do like these type of videos, let us know. You know, I can go back and we can do more story times. Once again, this is Andy Lee from Martial Club. Thank you again for tuning in and signing out. Ha!